What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. And in this video, I am doing another makeup look. This is the purple eye makeup from the other video that I previously uploaded. So I did do this video in real time just because I was actually talking in this video and my mic went dead on me mid-conversation. And so instead of having the mic audio and a voiceover, I just figured I'd do everything in one and make it more seamless. So that's what we're doing. So I have it in real time so I can get the entire story out to y'all while y'all watch me do my makeup. So here I'm just using a regular old brush, light strokes, buffing it out with like a little spoolie brush thing. And I find any kind of like eyebrow pencil can kind of work for like the little sparse areas and stuff. You just don't have to have a heavy hand. Because as you can see, I had that little sparse area at the top where it seems like there's no hair there. And it be little hairs, but not enough to show that that connects. So that's kind of how I do mine. Um, but yeah, y'all. Anyway, y'all can watch me do my makeup while I give y'all the story. So that makeup video, or the video that I actually did, was talking about how like the enemy was using my mom's situation when she had like a dream about something that she felt it was from God and it was going to come to fruition. Um, how he tried to use it against me with kind of like in the same manner. Um, and so basically, I had two dreams a month apart, not exactly to date, but just one was 1 month and the other was another month. Now, the thing that I dreamt about was actually something I wasn't even interested in. Like since I've been walking with God and just learning him and seeking him and finding answers and going through things and being redeemed. I just have been, that has been like my main focus. And so I feel like I finally know what my purpose is. I finally figured that part out, or had God reveal that to me and just really, narrow down and paid attention to what was going on in my life. And now at this point, I'm like hyper focused on this, because for a moment it was like, God, what is my purpose? Like, what are you trying to have me do here? I'm here, I'm ready, and I'm willing. I'm ready to be that vessel, but like, what's going on? Because I have no sense of direction at all. I'm just here. So I had these two dreams. So I'm seeking this thing now. Like I'm actually in it. I'm doing my research. I'm doing this. I'm doing that for my purpose. So now comes these two dreams. Now this has nothing to do with the purpose, but it has something to. It does kind of. It doesn't have nothing to do with what's going on in my life, but it has something to, like, it's kind of similar in a sense. I'll put it like that. And I'm looking like, God, this ain't even something I'm even trying to be looking at right now. Like I'm so focused on just making sure I'm not wasting time. And my wasting time means I felt like for the time that I was disconnected from God, that was the wasting time. I feel like that because I know where I'm at now and I've only been here, it's only been a year, it's going on two come December. And in 2 years compared to the what 10 plus years that I have been away, I have had more peace, more clarity, more direction um, than I've had in the 10 plus years that I was away from. So part of me is probably like, I'm just trying to speed the whole process up, but the other part of me probably is just like, I don't really want to make a mistake. And when I say mistake, it's just more in the sense of I don't want to focus on anything that is outside the will of what you had and have and always had for me. And so if these two dreams is something that's coming from me, which in my head they're not, because this thing is not on my mind. this this hasn't this is not on my mind. It hasn't even been on my mind. I'm so hyper focused elsewhere that it's like, where are you coming from and why are you showing up? And so with that, I felt like, and amongst other things too, it's like, okay, well, this has to be for God, from God, because at this point, I feel like I'm tapped in, building my spirit, getting to know Him, figuring things out. He's showing me things, etc. Right? So I'm like, okay, cool. I don't want to ignore it because I don't want to. I don't know what God has for me, so I don't want to potentially say I don't want something if this is what God has for me. So I'm open, but I'm not seeking that. So when I had these dreams, I'm like, well, where is this? Like, God, I only want to focus on one thing. I want to focus on this thing and this thing only because one, you know how I get when I focus on something, I give it my all because that's just it's in my nature. I was like, if you're gonna do something, you gotta do it all the way. And I treat things like I treat people how they want to be treated. I treat things how they should be treated. Period. And so this thing is like something that could potentially distract me if I'm giving it my all, but at the same time, it's not something is that is to me, in my opinion, is even connected to what my purpose is. I don't know what God got going on, but I'm just saying that's what I said in my opinion. So I'm looking like, all right, cool. So I'm keeping my eyes open, like, well, you can show me this thing twice, so maybe I should look at it. And y'all, looking at it, and this is the very thing. It's like God can show you one thing. Like if God was to tell you you're gonna have $1 million, that's why He don't be telling us stuff now, y'all. Because if He tell you you're gonna have $1 million, you're gonna figure out how to get that $1 million right now. He not telling, he not showing us the stuff for us to go figure it out. It's just kind of like in my opinion, it's like hey, this is what I have for you, but you don't know the path that you're gonna have to go through to go get it. And with us, we'll be trying to make it happen by any means because we know what God had told us. So we looking like, all right, well, if this is what you said, then I need to go get it. Whole time He's going to give it to you, but He gotta build you up. He gotta do some work in the inside of you first. He gotta make sure that you can take care of this thing, that you won't lose this thing, because God is not in the business of giving you something for you to lose it. He want to make sure that your heart posture is right. He want to make sure you humble and you not just using Him just to get things, even though He can't be used anyway, because He know how our hearts for real, for real. But saying all that to say, if God told us what we would have, we would be trying to make that happen within a short time frame. And y'all, that's literally what. That's not what happened because I peeped game, but I was on my way there, and this is how He had wound up using my mom. Because if y'all didn't see the video, you can go check it out to get more in depth. But basically, my mom said that she didn't say she had a dream, but she said God told her something, and then she went for it. And that's exactly what I'm talking about now, rather than her like testing the spirit and really making sure she heard from God. Now, I'm not saying the enemy is telling you this because it could be. It could be. And the only reason why I say it could be is because the thing that she said, the thing that my mom said was for her is something that she always yearned for. Always. Her heart always yearned for this. And so if God was to reveal it to her, this is something that she would actually go and force to happen to try to make it happen when the whole time it's not for her to force it. It's for let God do the work and He'll bring it to you if it's really from Him. So, with that being said, He was trying to use that moment and her moments of weakness to kind of trip me up because now I'm looking at this thing like, all right, wait, so now should I be focusing on this and not this? Because I feel like this is my purpose. But like, hold on, what we talking about? Because I had two dreams here, two dreams of the same thing a month apart, and both times I was not thinking about this thing. So I'm like, hold up, what's going on? And the difference between me and my mom is I'm a patient person. She is not. And I'm not trying to make myself look like no fool. Like, I'm not gonna be go outside and be like, oh, I'm gonna find $1 million in this tree because God told me that. Like, no, God could have said you gonna find $1 million in a tree. But if you don't go to the tree when God tell you to go to the tree, you ain't gonna find $1 million. You're gonna be sitting there looking stupid because it ain't gonna be nothing here. And so I was like, hold on, let me make sure I'm hearing God right. Because now I'm like, I don't know, I'm still new to this whole thing, and I want to make sure that I'm hearing him right. So instead of me acting on what I dreamt, um, instead of me acting on what I had dreamt, I sat here and I just like sat with it. And then when I realized the interest started peaking, and then now I'm paying more attention to this thing. Now it wasn't distracting me from the other thing, but it was heavy on my mind to the point where it could have done that. Now once I peeped that game, y'all, I'm looking like, oh my goodness. And the very first thing that pops in my head is the situation with my mom. Like, oh, you're never like trying to remind me that, oh, she never got us, so you'll never get whatever you dreamt about. She said she heard from God. You say you heard from God, but you're not gonna get it because I don't see how this thing can happen. But I am not God, and He works in mysterious ways. And if something is for you, it's gonna come to you. The only thing you can do is delay it. So by feeding into what the enemy said, right? So I'm looking like, oh my. So um you know, and on top of that, if I would have just went full force, man, it'd be like that's what I was thinking too. Like she went full force and had people looking at her like she was cuckoo for cocoa puffs. I'm not trying to do that because again, I'm not saying I'm finding $1 million somewhere and it ain't gonna be there. I'm not trying to do that. So the negative thoughts was coming and I'm like, oh nah, you got it. So what I kind of did was just remove certain things, certain measures that would have me kind of focus on this thing a little bit more. I'm like, yeah, nah, you ain't finna get me like that because I've seen it happen. But this is not me denying the dreams I had. It's just me not trying to me shifting my focus from that to what God's purpose was. Because again, whatever it's gonna be for you is gonna be for you. That's nobody can do nothing about that as long as it's from God. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I told myself, all right, if this is what God want me to have, God, you gotta bring this to my front door. Cause I can't, I'm not gonna go out there and start looking crazy. So if you're not gonna make it plain this day, I ain't finna say nothing about it. Y'all, days go by, weeks go by. Randomly, I'll just get the thought, and I'm like, oh, something to pop up, and I'm like, oh. It'd be all types of stuff right now. Again, I'm looking from my naked eye, my human eye. I cannot see what God sees. So the circumstances to me seems like it's null and void. You might as well wrap it up, put a bow on it, and send it off because that's not happening. But to God, He don't operate like that. And just because a situation look or a circumstance look a certain way doesn't mean the circumstances won't change. It just look like that for right now, based off of decisions that other people make. But who is the ultimate person who make the decisions is God. Real quick, y'all, I'm gonna just show y'all here. When I was so these I've said this in a lot of my videos, but these mascaras are so wet that when I go to look down, they will get into my they will transfer onto my under eye. So I had to wipe the black parts off and do that over. So that's kind of why that looks like that. But it looks better at the end. Um, as you can see me, I'm about to fix it now. So anyway, back to the story. So I'm looking like, all right, but I see myself paying attention to this thing randomly. I remove some measures that would not have me focus on it. I'm doing my thing, researching, doing my fulfilling my purpose. Y'all, then I get hit with some spiritual warfare out the wazoo. I'm looking like, oh my gosh. And this was random because there's nothing that's happening in my life that would even cause for me to just be sitting here feeling like I'm so drained, I'm so tired. I don't want to do research. Like I don't want to do the things that God is telling me to do. that is tied to this purpose. So I'm like, where is this coming from? Boom, right? Now, now this thing I'm seeing randomly, and I'm like, oh, nope, I ain't touching that, God. I'm not. It'll come up, and I might think of it like, oh, I could see me with that. I could see me with that. But then I'm like, nope, I'm not touching it. I don't. I'll bring myself right back. Nope, I'm not touching it. I don't want to envision myself, or I can envision it, but I don't want to envision it if it's not something from you. So boom, go by, go by, go by. I finally put my big girl panties on, y'all. I finally put my big girl panties on and get up out that spiritual warfare because I'm like, nah, you got the wrong one. I done been through a lot now to just be laying down and giving up like that. So I get back into my bag. Y'all, this spiritual warfare had me not making videos, y'all. It had me not making videos for YouTube and TikTok. And I was on a roll. TikTok for sure. I was giving like 3 videos a day. YouTube, it was still kind of sporadic, but it was a little bit more consistent than what I've had been in general. So, put my big girl panties back on. I get up now. I'm confident. I'm fearless. I'm all the things that God tell me that I am. Make my TikTok video, started that back up. And I actually speak on the spiritual warfare. Y'all, tell me why the same day, God is so good. Tell me why the same day I get hit with something that is about this thing again that would not look favorable for me. And I'm looking like, yo, you trying so hard to get me down. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is because the enemy wants you to act off your emotions. Because when you act off your emotions, your body is going to follow by how you act. And so, if my emotions are sad, my body's going to follow that, which would, for me, I'll be laying down. You know, like depressed people get lay down, you don't want to do nothing. You're not, this is going to distract me from the purpose. And so, I'm looking like, yo, you trying it so bad, but guess what? I can try it too. Because now let's see who really who really boss. And the thing is, I recognized it right offhand. But the whole point of this was just showing like how he used something that my mom experienced to try to trip me up to make me think this is going to be the same thing. Now, why I don't know if this thing is for me or not, because it has not been revealed to me by God yet, um, I'm not worried on whatever way it goes. Like, I know whatever God has for me is going to be for me. I know if this thing is for me, God is going to reveal that in the time that He wants to reveal it. And so I'm not hyper focused on this thing so that if it does not happen and if it wasn't really from God, then I'm not disappointed. And I think that's where we kind of set ourselves up when we think we've seen the thing and we haven't tested God, haven't gotten the answer. We just start thinking what we want to think. And then when that happens, you wind up turning, you wind up disappointing yourself. And when you get your emotions and stuff involved, like I said, you get them involved, you're going to eventually blame God. Like, well, God, I thought this was from you, this, that, and the third, rather than looking at it like, well, how did I come up with this conclusion? Where did this come from? Is this something that I want? Is this the enemy trying to play me out? Like, we always just go directly to God and just blame Him. Like, well, why didn't I get this thing? Because I thought this was coming from you. Whole time, it could be a whole lot of other factors that's in that. So the way I handled mine was just being patient. I was being very patient. I'm like, okay, cool, God. If it's for me, I'll take it. If it's not for me, I'll take it. Then I know you got something for me that's equivalent, if not better. I'm not going to insert this thing into my life and now make it something that I need to have so then it doesn't happen and I'm sitting here tripping and my feelings emotionless, not wanting to follow God no more, or emotional, not wanting to follow God no more because I feel like He disappointed me whole time. It's just me being impatient. It's just me not realizing God don't work that way. And when you start to seek him and really figure out how he works and really sees that he don't operate all the time in quickness and swiftness, then you'll realize, oh, this was me. This wasn't him. So I still got a long way to go, y'all. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about that. I mean, we all can, get some teaching at some point. But I did not let the enemy get me. And this is the end of the video. So if you like this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all in my next one.